Hey guys, Prowl 1701 here, and today we're going to be talking about Doomsday Coalition 3, Part 4, the Crucible of Souls, which is the final part of Doom Coalition 3. Now, this is a box set that was sent to me by one of my subscribers, Robert. Robert's been a huge supporter of the channel. He sent all of the Doom Coalitions and the Triumph of Sutek, plus a couple really amusing Fourth Doctor stories I enjoyed as well. So this has been a mixed bag of a box set, which Doom Coalition as a whole has thus far. But I really liked Part 4. Oh, slide that there out of the way. I did really enjoy Crucible of Souls. It actually kept me pretty locked in. It took a little second to completely grab me. Because it's really been a roller coaster, Doom Coalition 3. Because I really liked Absent Friends. I really didn't like the 8th piece, the second part. Did not care for that. And then the third part, which I forget the name of off the top of my head, was much more enjoyable. Just kind of middle of the road, CD tier stuff. You know, listenable, but not something I'd go back to for a while. But I really liked this final part. It took a minute to completely grab me. I liked the setup, but it was in danger of my mind wandering without my mind wandering. But the story did a really good job of reaching out and grabbing me and going, Mr. Gideon, pay attention. And I really enjoyed that. The performances are all good, and it was very easy for me to keep up with who was who in this story. A lot of the girls were like Liv and Helen are being referred to by name, so it's easier for me to keep track of them. The guy voicing the 9 is really good. And of course, Paul McGann's great. Alex, of course, is always great. And so you don't have a big cast in this one, even relative to some of the other stories in this box set. And that does help. But everybody's voicing their characters really well. The incidental music is very good in this one. I definitely want to mention that. The incidental music in Part 4, very good. Very good at properly fitting the scenes and properly accentuating what is going on at the time. So the music is always appropriate to the scene, which I really like. It just adds to it. And then it's basically cutting back and forth between the Doctor with River, even though he doesn't know it's River because she's wearing like a disguise because she's not, the Doctor's not supposed to know who she is yet. And I mentioned this in the last video. I do always have a little bit of issue with these stories where River is meeting classic Doctors. But I was able really to put that problem I have with that on the back burner here and just enjoy the story for the story, let my willing suspension of disbelief kick in. And because of that, which I can't always do with these kind of stories with her meeting classic Doctors, but I was able to do that with Part 4 and able to thoroughly enjoy the story. And then you also have Liv and Helen, who are with the 9, but think they're with the Doctor because the 8 had just regenerated into the 9 at the end of the previous part, which was a nice little twist you didn't see really coming to the end, I think. And it does have a bit of a Modron Undead feel when, for a little bit everybody thinks Modron's the Doctor. And at first I really didn't like that idea. I mentioned this in the previous review. I didn't like it in Modron Undead. I really wasn't going to like it here. But they actually do a better job with it here than they did with Modron Undead. It goes on a little too long. But again, with the whole, the fact that Liv understands the Doctor's personality changes with regeneration, and she understands about post-regeneration trauma, that the 9 is kind of able to get away with it for a while, which is interesting. The 9 basically interfering with his own timeline here in a way, because a lot of what's going on are people working for the 11, and so the 9 is getting there a little early is also quite interesting. And they end up on this Time Lord Crucible, which I'm not going to explain in detail because you just listen to the story, but it's an interesting concept. And when you find out what's going on, why this thing was built, and why certain people are working with the 11 on it, it's actually quite an interesting concept and idea, and definitely something the Time Lords would have their grubby little fingers all over. So that's actually quite interesting. And then the story progresses at a really good rate with the Doctor in disguise, the people thinking the Nine are the Doctor, while other people are thinking the Doctor is the clockmaker. It's really interesting with trying to keep up with who thinks who is who, which really isn't difficult. It's just interesting. And then it ends with a really good cliffhanger that I guess, well, obviously leads into Doom Coalition 4, which I believe Robert has sent on the way and should be here soon. And that's a heck of a way to do a cliffhanger. It's a really good cliffhanger at the end of Part 4, which again is the final story in this box set. To really kind of leave you hanging going, ooh, now I need Doom Coalition 4. But I thoroughly enjoyed this one. It has action. The incidental sound effects are really good. You get to hear a lot of the Time Lord guns, stasers, maybe, whatever they're called. You know, kind of the same sound effect that we've been hearing probably ever since Deadly Assassin maybe, or Invasion of Time, that familiar sound effect that I always picture looking like it does kind of in Arc of Infinity with that updated effect. And then the cast do a really good job. So I don't really want to get into spoilers because I really think it's really one I'd rather you just go listen to. But yeah, it's really good. I really enjoyed this one. This is a high mark for the Doom Coalition series. The Doom Coalition series as a whole, Doom Coalition 1, 2, and 3 has been a mixed bag, typically with some stories that aren't as good, but each of them also has a story that's just an absolute banger. Like, one had the Red Lady, which was an absolute banger. And then parts 3 and 4 of Coalition 1 were also really enjoyable. And then you had Doom Coalition 2, which I think part 1 was alright and enjoyable. Part 2 was really bad. I think it was part 3 that was really good in Doom Coalition 2. That was a banger. And I think part 4 was okay. And then you have Doom Coalition 3, where I think part 1, yeah, Absent Friends. Absent Friends was really good, and then the 8th piece was really bad. And then part 3 was okay. It was all right, CD tier. And then you have part 4, which is also really good. It kept me locked in. I think there was a couple times I paused it and got up, but not for long. Like, there was never these long gaps when I just had to have a break from it. I think it was more just, either I had to use the restroom, or I went and got something to eat, or something like that. It was never a struggle to get through Crucible of Souls. It was an enjoyable experience. So it's nice that Doom Coalition 3 really had bookends on a high note, with a really good first story and a really good fourth story. And a really good job of convincing you to get that Doom Coalition 4 box set. So I really enjoyed this one. I really enjoyed Crucible of Souls. I thought it was really well done. Again, it's just an interesting way that the Doom Coalition series as a whole up to this point has been such a roller coaster. It's kind of like Series 2 of modern Doctor Who, where you have high highs and low lows, and I guess a little bit that's kind of in the middle, like, kind of like the Idiot's Lantern, which is, to me, is a kind of in the middle CD tier episode, maybe D tier episode. Not the worst in the world, just one you watch every 7 years. Definitely not C tier, D or E tier, but not F or G tier. So I want to know what you think of Doom Coalition 3, or Doom Coalition as a whole. Comment down below, and let's talk about it. I also want to give another shout out to Robert. I appreciate him sending the Doom Coalition series. It's nice to get a little more 8th Doctor in my life, because I do like the 8th Doctor. I also want to give a shout out to some of my top tier patrons: Colin Coney, Unknown289, Finn Perkins, and Androzani Major. I appreciate their support, as I do the support of all of my patrons. I also have a P.O. box if there's anything you'd like to send me to look at and review. Again, that's how I got these sets, and I love getting fan mail. Would love to get some more of these standard edition sets. The season 22 one should be coming probably in about another month or so. Simon did let me know he's going to send that around Christmas. So I'd love to get some more of those. Definitely would love to get the Series 2 Blake 7 set. I have a mortgage now. Can't quite swing that right now. If anyone wants to send that when that releases, because I love Series 1. And it's the first time I've ever watched Blake 7, so I've only seen Series 1 so far, and I'd love to do some more reviews for it. And then I also have a link to the Amazon wishlist and the Amazon UK wishlist down there as well. Most importantly, thank you for watching. guys, Prowl 1701 here, and today we're going to be reviewing some 8th Doctor Big Finish audio work. What? 8th Doctor Big Finish audio work? Where did that come from? Okay, let's try this again. Hey guys, Prowl 1701 here, and today we're going to be reviewing Doomsday Coalition Part... Oh. Okay. You got this, Prowl. You got this. Hey guys, Prowl 1701 here, and today we're going to be reviewing Doomsday Coalition 3, Part 4, the final part, which is called... Is it Crucible of Souls? The Crucible of Souls. Ah, that's what I get. I shouldn't have doubted myself. Should not have doubted myself. The Crucible of Souls. Okay.